So I bought a Harley, my first ever cruiser. I've been riding motorbikes for, 20 something years. This 2022 Street Bob 114 is my first introduction into the cruiser scene, and in today's video I'm just going to give you guys my honest thoughts on owning it for the last few weeks. I've done about 900 kilometers on it so far already, and comparing it to sports bikes. I have a Super Naked, so I have a Aprilia, about as far from the Harley as you could get. I've always had like sports bikes, I've had enduro, supermotos, I've had larger capacity adventure bikes. I just couldn't get it out of my head, and I just really felt like I wanted to get a cruiser, and I was deciding between the Indian Bobber, the Scout Bobber, or I was looking at the Street Bob. I did also consider the Triumph Bobber. In the end, obviously, I settled with the 2022 Harley Davidson Street Bob with the 114 engine, and I'm just loving it. So in today's video, I'm not doing a full review. I'm going to do that when I get round to it, as well as a review on my 2022 Aprilia V4 Tuono factory. It's a mouthful, that one. What it's like coming from a sports bike to, or like a Super Naked, to a cruiser, particularly the Harley. So first off, size-wise, I'm like 90 kgs and 6'1", and I find this Harley to be super comfortable. I have the forward controls on it and the stock bars. We'll go over some of the other mods I've done to it soon, but the riding position is obviously miles different to my Super Naked, but it's really nice and comfortable. You definitely feel like more of a badass than I am. And yeah, it's just a really fun experience. The power is miles different to the Aprilia. Obviously, with my Tuono, it's tuned and has the exhaust and everything. And it's making, probably 185, 190 horse, and it's just ridiculous. It's so fast, where the Harley is nowhere near as fast. I couldn't call it a fast bike. It is a quick bike, but the power, it's just completely different. So I would compare the Harley more to like an old school Camaro, like an SS Camaro or something like that, where the Aprilia is more like a new Lamborghini or something. They're just miles apart, but I personally prefer the old school feel, and that's a big reason why I went for the Harley in the first place, because I felt like the Indian, being a water-cooled engine and all that, I really love it, and I love the look of it, and I still really like them. I'll probably end up getting one day, but I just love the air-cooled sound that this Harley makes. It's the closest thing on a motorbike to driving an old Camaro or something, or like a Mustang or whatever, which is the feeling I really wanted to go for. I have a modern bike. This thing was supposed to be just for enjoyment and, the sound and the whole feeling of riding a Harley, and it's really delivered in that aspect. Back to the power, it does have quite a lot of torque, so it spins the back wheel. I've already drifted around one corner unintentionally, and it does have a lot of power, like instantaneously, especially after I've had the stage 1 tune done. It doesn't feel like it's way more powerful than before I had the tune, but it's just more responsive and a bit more instant on the throttle. So I've got to be a little bit more careful, and remember, it doesn't have like traction control and all the rider aids that one does. It's definitely not a slow bike, but once you've had something like that, it kind of just ruins your perspective of fast bikes, I think. So yeah, I think, like if you're a learner, it would be hard for me to recommend the Harley as like a first bike, but you could totally do it if you were like responsible enough, and it's just, it's fine. Just be a little bit careful when you're going around corners, something like that. I just love it. I'm so happy with it. I haven't ridden the Aprilia much since owning this one. I'm sure the honeymoon period will wear off on it, but I would often say I just want to go out for a chill ride. I just want to go out and like relax and have a good ride to the beach or something like that on a nice sunny day. And all I had was the Aprilia, and it's such a fun bike, but you just can't relax on it. It just eggs you on and just wants to murder you every time you get on it. Where the Harley still has plenty of power, but you can actually just sit back, chill out, cruise along, and just, you can still be a hooligan on it, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to do a full ride review on both bikes, and maybe do one like side by side comparing them. This channel's so small that I don't think many people are going to watch them anyway, but you know, if you have any questions about either bike, then just drop a comment below. But yeah, I'm going to go over some of the mods that I've done on the Harley now and do a little bit of a walk around. So far I haven't done a lot to it, but I do have some more mods coming. So anyway, I've done about 1,000 Ks on it. So one of the first things I did was put the pipes on it. So I've got the Vance and Hines. They're like, I think they're called Eliminator 300s. Just the slip-ons. I haven't gone the full system, but eventually I'm going to do a stage 2 with the cam and everything. So I'll probably get headers then as well. What else? I've done the mirrors. So I just flipped them. They're just the stock mirrors, but I just flipped them over. And I also got some LED indicators off Trade Me. So they're a lot cheaper than the ones that Harley sell. So yeah, they're really nice and bright. Whether they last, who knows, but I'll keep you guys updated on those. It's got the factory LED headlight, obviously. I also wrapped the fork uppers just with black vinyl because they were chrome, which I didn't like. I've ordered the black headlight surround. I was going to paint that, but chrome's kind of a pain to paint. I also did a really cool mod about the, you know, for the breather system. So apparently these Milwaukee 8 engines have a problem where they just have too much pressure and they just blow heaps of oil back into the intake. I checked the intake after like, I don't know, 500 Ks, and it did have some oil in there. It wasn't a lot, but you know, it was enough where I was like, well, it's brand new and there's oil in it. So I'm going to get a catch can, but I have done just this K&N filter for now, just to you know, get the problem gone. Not speaking real well, am I? But anyway, I found an Aussie bloke who done a really good YouTube video on how to do that, which is pretty much what I followed with my own little take on it. Like I said, I will get a catch can eventually, probably in the next week or so, but that will do for now. So I'll link his video in the description below because it was really, really super helpful. So thanks to you for that. I took the pillion seat off, obviously, and I've ordered a Saddleman Solo seat, which should be here in the next couple of days also. I do have the small indicators on order because those ones I'm really not a fan of. And I have actually ordered a like the aftermarket license plate holder. So the New Zealand ones and I believe the Aussie ones just come with the back plate. So I've ordered the one that, you know, sits sideways. I don't know how legal it's going to be here, but I'll give it a go. It's going to look way better. And I've also done the Screaming Eagle red spark plug lead kit because that was pretty cheap, and just added some little red accents to it to match the paint. And obviously the forward controls, so I had Harley do that when I picked it up new, they were on there. And the tank bag is just a jivvy, I don't know how you say it, magnetic tank bag, and that's been really good. I do have some protective, you can't see it, but there's like a protective vinyl wrap on there, so it's not, the magnets aren't going to scratch up the paint. So yeah, I guess the only thing is it's not secure. Anybody can just come along and pull it off, but you know, whatever. Probably lock it down somehow. Oh, and I got this helmet lock from Harley because that was pretty cheap. I can just lock my helmet on the bars when I go off. But yeah, that's my Harley. Like I said, 2022 Street Bob 114. Love it, man. I'm so happy with it. I'm going to do a video comparing, you know, what it was like going from a sports bike like this Aprilia. This is my Aprilia Tuono. It's a V4 factory 1100. It's just a weapon. It's so crazy. So I wanted to do a video coming from, you know, the bloody hyper nakeds to a cruiser and give you guys my opinion and thoughts on that. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.